So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, the Yam Suf. We're just gonna say Yam Suf when we see this. All right, all right. So Moses brought Israel from the Yam Suf, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah. Okay. And they leave Marah, and then and then verse 27 here, and they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. All right, so Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, right? Went out into Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness, found no water. So they've just left Egypt. They left Egypt in the first month, right? Passover and all that, right? We know when they left Egypt. They left the Passover. Okay, now if we go to this next, then you see where they've gone. So they went from the wilderness of Shur, and then Marah. Let's see if we can find that, right? Okay, wilderness of Shur, or where's right there is the wilderness of Shur. So they didn't, according to this map, they didn't even actually go in there. But either way, went to Marah and Elim. Excuse me, must be my allergies. Marah, Elim. All right, that's where let's just say supposed or approximate. Let's say approximate locations. All right, and suddenly, if we go over to the next chapter, the very following chapter, Exodus chapter 16, and they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai. All right, between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. So suddenly, we're in the second month, not only the second month, but the 15th day of the second month between Elim and Sinai. So between Elim and Sinai, there's Sinai right there, where they say, let's just say this general area somewhere, Sinai. So from Elim here to Sinai here, somewhere, how do we get to 2 months, to the 15th day of the second month, from here to here, right? From here, actually, actually, it's worse than that, because they left, right? They left. Hold on, Moses brought them from the Yam Suf, right? They crossed the Yam Suf, went out into the wilderness of Shur, 3 days, and found the water, and then came to Marah. Okay, and then came to Marah. And then Elim, right? But somehow in this section right here, we're at the second month, the 15th day of the second month. The 15th day of the second month. Something's not right. Hold on. It gets worse. Because if we go to Exodus chapter, hold on. 19, all right? Suddenly, in the third month, see this, in the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. And also, just for reference, this word wilderness, pretty much whenever we're going to be seeing it in this context, talking about their travels out of Egypt and such, the travels of the children of Israel out of Egypt and heading here and there, this word wilderness is pretty much going to always be desert. Now, I'm not saying every time you see desert in Scripture, again, because people be, no. But usually, in this context, as we're talking with the journeys of the children of Israel out of Egypt, usually when it's wilderness, it means desert. And let me just, because people complain, okay, wilderness of Sinai. Okay, pull that up. Okay, midbar. That's the word, midbar. In the sense of driving a pasture, that is open field, whether cattle are driven. By implication, a desert. Okay? Now, like I said, not every time does it mean desert. Not every time does it mean desert. So they are just bouncing around, right? From the first month, suddenly to the second month, and now all the way in the third month, they are in, they come to Sinai. So from here, let's be generous and say here. Let's put the city of Ramesses back here somewhere, right? Let's put it back here. So from here to here took them 3 months. Okay? Estimate this mile marker. This is okay, 75, maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3 and a half of that, right? Three and a half of that. It took them from here to here, right? 3 months? Something's not adding up. It doesn't take people that long to travel this distance. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. All right, let me pull something up here for you guys. Right, this is from Britannica.com. Britannica.com. I can link it if you want. In fact, I probably should. I'll link it so everyone can look at it for themselves. Okay, this is about the Sinai Peninsula, the geography specifically. The Sinai Peninsula lies between the Gulf of Suez and the Suez Canal on the west. The Gulf of Suez and the Suez Canal on the west, and the Gulf of Aqaba and the Negev on the east. And it is bounded by the Mediterranean Sea on the north and the Red Sea to the south, the actual Red Sea. Its greatest dimensions are about 130 miles from east to west and 240 miles from north to south. That it's at its widest point. In other words, at its widest point, from east to here, right? It's just 130 miles or 140 miles, whichever it said. I'll double check. And this from north to south at its longest point, 240 miles. It does not take you that long. 3 months? 3 months, people? I'm sorry. It just doesn't take that long to even on foot. And keep in mind, these were, these were healthy, strong people. These weren't a bunch of obese people from lands of comfort today. These were people that were used to building brick, working long hours in the sun, walking, gathering straw for themselves to make the tale of bricks, and eating good food and carrying water and all of this stuff. These were not unfit people. It doesn't take that long. It does not take 3 months to go from here to here, a distance of, what do you want to say? I could say, let's say this is almost as wide as the top of the Sinai Peninsula. Let's say 240 miles. Let's just say that. Let's give them our widest berth here and say 240 miles. It took them 3 whole months. And part of that with no water. Also, I want to say, all right, suddenly, right, they get into the wilderness of Sinai. All right, they had just departed from, where was that? Let's keep track of it. They just departed from Elam and actually Rephidim is where they just departed from. All right, and then get into Mount Horeb, Mount Sinai, and we don't hear them complaining about not having any water. And this is something that you'll hear repeated. You'll see it repeated as the journey goes on and continues. Excuse me. They only complain about not having water when they don't have water. You only hear the children of Israel. The scripture will mention, hey, there was no water for them to drink, so the people complain. Hey, there's no water. So there was no water. They couldn't drink of the water of Marah because it was bitter. But so here they're having no problems with water. From Baal Zephon to Marah, they're not having problems with water. What are they drinking? The Red Sea, this salt water. Okay. From I think Elam had the 12 wells of water, but then from here, you're not hearing them complain about water. All right. And then Sinai, there's water in Sinai. They're not complaining about Sinai not having water. Let me show you what the Sinai area looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. All right, and I can link this if you want. All right, this is visitafrica.site. All right, visit Mount Sinai, Jabal Musa. All right, this is current. This doesn't have anything to do with the historical necessary context, but this is just to show you where this is. This is where it is. This is the Sinai Peninsula, as you can see. Okay, and then this is the area where people say Mount Sinai was. These are actual pictures of what the place looks like. This is what it looks like. Right? Does anywhere in here, excuse me, I don't see any vegetation, anything. Does anywhere around here look like it would have any amount of water that would be able to feed over 2 million people? Right, because remember, I didn't go into all of it because there are some things I expect you guys to just, have the understanding of. Remember, there was like 600,000 footmen alone, people that were men that went up with the children of Israel, not counting their wives and children. So I can promise you that some of those people, some of those men had 2 wives and all of their kids, not counting any of all the kids that they had, right? Not counting the mixed multitude that went up with them from Egypt, not counting the mixed multitude that went up with them, not counting the cattle. They had ox and sheep and donkeys, right? Mules, all these things that had to drink water. So that suddenly, they're from no water to being enough water in this area that we just saw. There's enough water in this arid wasteland to water all of those people. Something is not adding up.